It's Max Man with PSC Sports Talk. Today we're going to go over my college football bowl picks as well as my college football playoff picks. We'll do that right after the intro.
Without a doubt.
It's Max the Man, reppin' PSC Sports Talk. Back in school, I was a super jock. Now I get my sports news from Pat McAfee and AJ Hawk. The best rapper all time is Tupac. Just a middle-aged dude consumed with sports. As a dirty fucking smoker, I smoke Newports. When it's hot outside, I'm rocking Jorts. At the beach last week, I built a fort. Covering the NFL and the MLB. Hall of Famer, opinion, CFB. Went back to school to earn more pay. I'm tired of the struggle day to day. Now lighten up like Tommy John, be here to pay. A joint, a pipe, or a bomb. Cause this train is about to get rolling. Blows my mind, KD be trolling.
All right, so we'll go ahead and get started here. Again, we're going to go over the college football bowl games as well as my college football playoff picks. So last week we were 7-2, which puts us on the season at 53-46. Not bad at all. Definitely 7-2 help last week. So first game we'll take a look at here is the Army-Navy game. That is going to be this Saturday. Army comes into the game as a 6.5-point favorite. Navy. We're going to go ahead and go with Army in this one, and we'll drop the 6.5. Those uniforms are fucking sweet, by the way. Next, we have the South Carolina State versus Jackson State in the Celebration Bowl. Jackson State is a 1.5 favorite in this one, and we'll go ahead and take them in this one and drop the 1.5. The SWAC champions are going to beat the MEAC champions. That's what I'm saying. So next we have the Salute to Veterans Bowl, which is the Western Michigan team versus the South Alabama team. South Alabama is a 10.5-point favorite in this one. And we're going to go ahead and roll with South Alabama in this one. Drop the 10.5. Next we have West Virginia versus 25 Memphis. Memphis is a 1.5 favorite in this one in the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl. And we'll go ahead and go with West Virginia in this one. Gotta love the Mountaineers. Hopefully they get a good coach this time. Next, we have Western Kentucky versus James Madison in the Boca Raton Bowl. James Madison is a 6.5-point favorite in this one. And we'll go ahead and roll with the Dukes in this one. Jump in the 6.5. Next, we have Cal versus number 24 UNLV. Cal is a 2.5-point favorite in this one. Bowl. We're going to go ahead and take the Red Rebs, though, and take the points. Next, we have Georgia Southern versus Sam Houston State in the R+L Carriers New Orleans Bowl. Georgia Southern is a 4.5-point favorite in this one. And we're going to go ahead and roll with them, jump in the 4.5. Next, we have Ohio versus Jacksonville State. Ohio is a 1.5 favorite in this one in the Staff DNA Cure Bowl. And in this one, we're going to go ahead and roll with Jacksonville State. Always got to roll with Cox, baby. So next, we have Tulane versus Florida. Florida is a 9.5-point favorite in the Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl. And we're going to go ahead and roll with the Gators in this one, dumping the 9.5 points. Next, we have a college football playoff game. It is going to be number 9 Indiana versus number 3 Notre Dame at Notre Dame. Notre Dame is a 7.5-point favorite in this one at home. And we're going to go ahead and take the Golden Domers in that one. I just don't think Indiana can keep up with Notre Dame's talent. Next, we have another college football playoff game. This is the number 12 SMU team versus number 5 at Penn State. There are 7.5-point favorites at home in this one. And I'm going to go with the Nittany Lions in this one at home against the Texas team like that. I don't think they're going to do well up in the cold. So we'll go with the Nittany Lions in this one. Another college football playoff game. Number 13 Clemson at number 4 Texas. Texas is a 11.5-point favorite in this one. And we'll go ahead and take the Longhorns and dump the points. I just don't think Dabo's team can keep up with the Texas team. Next, we have number 7 Tennessee versus number 6 Ohio State in another college football playoff game. Ohio State is a 7.5-point favorite at home in this one. And we'll go ahead and take the Buckeyes and dump the points. And yes, Ryan Day is a disgrace and a fraud. Next, we have Fresno State at Northern Illinois. Northern Illinois is a 2.5-point favorite in this one in the Idaho Famous Potato Bowl. And we are going to go ahead and roll with the bull on this one with the upset. Take the points. Next, we have Coastal Carolina versus UTSA. UTSA is a 6.5-point favorite in the Myrtle Beach Bowl. And we're going to go ahead and roll with Coastal in this one, though. It's right down the street from them. Next, we have South Florida versus San Jose State. San Jose State is a 2.5-point favorite in the Hawaii Bowl. And we're going to go and roll with San Jose State in this one and dump the 2.5 points. Long flight. Next, we have Pittsburgh versus Toledo. Pittsburgh is an 8.5-point favorite in the Game Above Sports Bowl. And we're going to go ahead and roll with the Pitt. Next, we have Bowling Green versus Arkansas State. Bowling Green is a 7.5-point favorite in the State Ventures Bowl. And we're going to go and roll with Bowling Green in this one and dump points. Next, we have Oklahoma versus Navy. Oklahoma is a 7.5-point favorite in the Armed Forces Bowl. And they got that one wrong. Jolly Roger, baby, in the Navy. They're going to take this one. And take Navy in the points. Next, we have Georgia Tech versus Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is a 2.5-point underdog in the Birmingham Bowl. And we're going to go ahead and roll with Georgia Tech in this one, though. Take Georgia Tech up the points. Both of these teams has some serious wins on the season. But I just trust a little bit more than Andy at this point. So Georgia Tech it is. Next, we have Texas Tech versus Arkansas. Arkansas is a 2.5-point favorite in the Liberty Bowl. And we'll go ahead and take the Hogs in this one, dump the 2.5 points. Next, we have Syracuse versus Washington State in the Holiday Bowl. Syracuse is a 4.5-point favorite in the Holiday Bowl. But we're going to go ahead and take the Cougs in this one. They had a pretty good season, and I don't think Syracuse is really that good. So take the Cougs. Next, we have Texas A&M versus USC in the Las Vegas Bowl. Texas A&M is a 3.5-point favorite in this one, and I think it's going to be way more than 3.5. So go ahead and take Texas A&M, dump the 3.5. You should be fine. Next, we have Boston College versus Nebraska in the Pinstripe Bowl. Nebraska is a 4.5-point favorite in this one. Go ahead and take the Huskers in this one and dump the 4.5. Hopefully, Matt Rule's got the boys ready to play. Next, we have Iowa State versus Miami of Florida. Iowa State is a 1.5 favorite in the Pop-Tart Bowl. And we're going to go ahead and take the Canes in this one. The U, baby. Next, we have Miami of Ohio versus Colorado State. Miami of Ohio is 2.5-point favorites in the Arizona Bowl. And we'll go ahead and take the Red Hawks in this one and dump the 2.5. Next, we have number BYU versus number 20, Colorado. Colorado is a 2.5-point favorite in the Alamo Bowl. And we'll go ahead and run with the Buffs in this one. It's Shedor's last game and Travis Hunter's last game. Hopefully, he'll be a Heisman winner. Those guys go to the league. So this is Deion's last hurrah with his kid. So I'm sure they're going to blow the doors off him. Next, we have number 14, South Carolina versus number 21, Illinois. South Carolina is a 10.5-point favorite in the Citrus Bowl. And we're going to go ahead and roll with Cox in this one. Like I said, you always got to roll with Cox. Dump 10.5. You'll be all right. The Cox are strong. Next, we have number 11, Alabama versus Michigan. Alabama is a 13.5-point favorite in the ReliaQuest Bowl. And go ahead and take the Alabama Crimson Tide in this one. We got a lot to prove in this one. Not to prove, but chip on their shoulder after getting snubbed in the playoff. And Michigan beat them last year as well. So, take Alabama. Next, we have Washington versus Louisville. Louisville's a 4.5-point favorite in the... And we'll, of course, take the Dogs in the 4.5 points. There's no way we're going to lose Louisville. We better not lose Louisville. Next, we have Baylor versus LSU. LSU is a 2.5-point favorite in the Kinder's Texas Bowl. Even though Baylor's at home for this one, basically, in Texas, got to take the Tigers. Bayou Bengals. Next, we have Ole Miss versus Duke. Ole Miss is 2.5-point favorite in the Gator Bowl, and they should have no problems handling Duke. They should definitely beat them by more than 2.5. So, go and take the Rebels in this one. They should have no problems handling Duke. So, next we have Minnesota versus Virginia Tech. Minnesota is a 2.5-point favorite in the Duke's Mayo Bowl, and we'll go ahead and take the Golden Gophers in this one. Dump to 2.5. Next, we have Buffalo versus Liberty. Liberty is a 2.5-point favorite in the Bahamas Bowl. Probably the best bowl out there, I would assume. That or the Hawaii Bowl. But we'll go ahead and take the Liberty team and dump the 2.5 points. So that is the college football bowl slate. Appreciate anybody that did tune in to watch this. And again, be a friend, tell a friend. And we'll catch you on the rebound. There will still be a NFL podcast as well this week for NFL picks. We'll be getting that uploaded here momentarily. So, 2 shows this week. Then once the college football playoff gets rolling, we'll go ahead and roll that in with the NFL picks. So we'll only have one podcast hopefully next week. So again, thanks for anybody that did tune in, and we'll catch you on the rebound. Deuces. Peace out, players.